Okay, so this is a quick tutorial on using gradethis. So first you need to install it, and it's not a CRAN project, so it's on GitHub. So this is one way to install it using this command here. And then once you install it, you need to include it in the R setup section of your exercises. And so you need this library, and then you also need this statement here. Or actually this statement here, not this one was already there. So this says that the options we're going to use a gradethis function called, I guess, called grade underscore learnr as the exercise checker. Okay, so then when we get to the exercises, so here's a question, and here's the here's the learnr part of it, and so you don't want to have the full answer in here. So here I gave the answer, by the way, looks like this for this one. So you can see that it's a filter question, and here we have one argument, which is the data, and then we have some kind of specification about the data. So you could put maybe a hint in here, or scaffolding in here that says something like this. You need an argument here, you need an argument here, and filter, that's pretty good as scaffolding, I think. And then you can have a hint. So you have to say this is a hint for this problem, for what we've called 1D, and this is the first hint. So you write it like this, and then you put quotation marks, and you can give a hint. And then if you want to give a second hint, you can put another statement in quotation marks like this. And then you have also for 1D, you can have the solution. And so here's the actual solution for this question. And then this part is when we use gradethis, and you also say for problem 1D, this is the check, and we're using a gradethis function to do the checking. Okay, let's look at one more example of this. So here's a second exercise. Find all flights with missing departure delay and arrival delay. So the answer to this is kind of similar to the previous one. Here's the answer. It's also filter. It's also on flights. And there are also two arguments. So maybe we could use the same scaffolding here, although it might be good to change it up a bit. And then we have a hint. Maybe we would use a different hint, but here I use the same hint because it's pretty much a similar question. So I use the same hint, and actually the same hint here. But if you can come up with a different hint, that would probably be better, or it could be better. And then we have the solution again. So this is question 2D hyphen the solution. Then you have the actual correct answer, and then you run again 2D and check. And now let's see how all of this works. So once you've made some changes, you have to rebuild it. So install and restart. And when that's done, you'll see this. And then you can go to the tutorial and run it. This is this one. So this seems to be kind of a bug of learnr. Actually, I want to go start over again. Previous topic. So this seems like a kind of a bug because it gives us the previous answer. But anyway, we can click start over, and then we see the scaffolding. And we can also check the hints. So here's one hint, and here's the next hint. And how do we get rid of that? Okay. And then we can put in our code, and we can run it. But we can also submit the answer. Now, I haven't figured out. Okay, so we can submit it. So let's see what happens. Well, let's see what happens when we make a mistake first. So let's change this to that and see what happens. Okay, so this is what we generate, but it says in this we expected a 12 where you wrote a 10, so it gives you pretty much the answer in that case. It says perseverance is the key to success. Okay, let's try it again, but let's try a different mistake. Let's suppose we did, or let's suppose we had two mistakes. So let's put in here and see what it gives us then for the response. Okay, that took a while. And so here it tells, I expect you to call this, it's kind of weird, but you called this. Okay, so it didn't seem to catch the 10 that time. but we can't expect it to be perfect. Okay, now let's try putting 2 in here, and I'm sorry, yeah, and here let's put and let's say we forget this, or let's change the name to, yeah, let's just say we forget that and see what happens. And let's submit the answer. That didn't seem to work. Okay, well, it didn't seem to give a great, let's try this. Okay, let's just see what happens when we submit the correct answer. Okay, so it says very good, and then we can go on to the next topic. And actually the correct answer is there from before, I guess. But click start over, and we get to the same scenarios here. And let's try again with the correct answer and submit it. Okay, and we can see, and it says fantastic, and we can go to the next question. Okay, so that's just a quick tutorial on how to use gradethis.